Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. This video is actually going to be dedicated to Mason and Maverick, Syoval or Zytrack 52 as you guys know them. I just wanted to go over what I have done to this quad to make it faster and it gives it more power, especially me being about 140 pounds. It has a little trouble getting me places, but I've done a few things to make it a whole lot faster and it's now a whole lot more fun. So let's get started with the first thing that probably made the biggest difference of all. Right here. This right here, as you can see right here, this little thing, that used to have like a little thing on it that was, it's like an air pump or an EGR valve for the exhaust. It's for emissions. I'll show it to you. This is it right here. Take off the screws here. This is just basically just went in. The exhaust right here would go right in there. And it acts as kind of like a diaphragm of some sort. It's all for emissions. I pulled it off the quad, and this is what it is right here. Let me open it up real quick. Right there. That's what it is. It's basically just a little, here, I'll show it from this. There you go. It's basically like a little diaphragm that it just goes up through there and up like that. And then it just hits this, and it acts as some sort of like pulse for the exhaust. I took this off and it made a huge difference. It immediately woke this thing up. No side effects of it being taken off have been shown yet. I mean, I would recommend it if you want speed and power, but I don't know if it'll put a hole in your piston or something. I'm not 100% sure yet, but we're going to find out here soon if it actually does any harm, more harm than good to the quad. So, yep, that's what that is. That's just what I pulled off. That's like modification number one. Next, we have the one that probably was my first one that I did. Right here is the choke on the carburetor. And that was actually, I found it, Nick, my brother, you guys know him as Outright Coder 12. And Zytrack and Syoval, they ended up getting the choke unstuck. Well, either it came from the factory like this, but the choke was actually like that the whole time, reducing the amount of air that could go into the motor, and it was actually restricting a lot of power. And I took that off, I got it all the way down, and it gave this thing a pretty big boost at the beginning. Second, while we're under here, as you can see here, this little hose that goes into the air filter right there, that is the crankcase breather tube. So let me find a better camera view, because you know they did that so hard to get in. I actually disconnected it so that way it's getting pure oxygen going into the motor and not the gunk from that. That's actually the filter right there from it. Next, over here we have right here in the exhaust, and I'll show you in just a moment what I did to this. Okay, so as you can see here, I took the chrome cap off right here, and yeah, all they did was just weld, like tack weld nuts onto here so they could thread the screws in, but that's not what I'm talking about. As you can see here, we have these three holes. These are actually, there used to be screws that went in them, and they actually plug the exhaust. So I ended up removing those screws, and I actually recommend doing this because I've seen a few people do it before, and it actually makes not only does it give the exhaust more flow, but it actually makes it a little bit louder too. At the end here, I'll take it out for a spin, and then I'll show you how it's gotten louder. These are all things that we should have done, Zytrack and Syoval, if I had just gotten into it. But this is one of the main things that if you're just looking for something easy, then this is something that I recommend. Alright guys, we're turning it back to stock. Now we have the screws in it. I know right now the only issue is that you guys are literally sitting on a battery charge right now because the battery died. So I have to turn it on to get it fired up, and then I'll turn it off, and then I'll rev it, and you'll hear the difference. And I'll take the screws out, and you'll hear the difference between the two. Alright, now I'm going to rev it. Okay, now I have taken the screws out, so I'm going to fire up the battery charger, fire up the quad, and then, yeah, you're going to hear the difference between the two. So yeah, that's it. That's it right there. Just take those 3 screws out, and it automatically makes it a little louder. Plus, with the casing on it, it kind of echoes. As you can see, where when I took them off, you can see how they've been hitting it. It actually makes it louder with this on too, because it like echoes. And so now you've heard that. Now I'm going to show you with the casing on, without the screws in it. I'm not going to put these pieces of garbage back in anymore. That's all they are. All these do is just thread right into these holes. That's all it does, and just plugs the exhaust. So, yeah, I'm just gonna put the cover back on, and I'll show you it, and it'll be a little louder. All right, here we go with the cap on. A couple other things that I did since the last time you saw this was I removed the front main, the front main bar that would sit right here. Took that off because since the back is gone, I may as well take the front off and make it look a little better. And then I removed the fog light that would sit right here on this mount because it was broken. So, I mean, there's really no point in having that on there because all it did was just flop around and do nothing. So I decided to just take that off. So yeah, that's pretty much what I did to make it a little faster, a little louder. There you have it. My TaoTao quad video on my modifications to make it faster. I don't know what I'm going to end up calling it, my modifications. Call it what you want. I'm just going to say it's my little upgrades, modifications to make it faster, perform better, and carry me places. This video is dedicated to Mason Maverick, otherwise known as Syoval, and Zytrack 52. I know I said this at the beginning, but I'm going to say it again more in depth. They're the ones who sold me the quad. They're awesome guys. I want you guys to go over to their channel right now and click that subscribe button. Zytrack, I'm going to say it again, Zytrack 52 and Syoval. Go check them out right now, guys. Have a good one. Eagle double G.